So you decided you will migrate your on-prem data platform to cloud. You expect to get latest and greatest services, get scalability, and pay less. After a few months running in production, you look at the invoice. 1 second glimpse at the numbers gives you a similar heart rate that Lance Armstrong had at the end of Tour de France. Moreover, you remember the presentation you gave to your managers where you presented estimates. And now you see that you will miss those estimates just like Apollo 13 missed the moon. So the question is, what happened? Well, it all started with unconditional love. Unconditional love to your cloud provider. First of all, once you are starting data platform project in cloud, you want to verify all the services and all the pricing nuances. Storage is cheap, computation is expensive. And in Azure case, the workhorse for data engineering and data science is Databricks. And here I'll show you one example of Databricks where there is a small flag that makes quite a big difference. The flag is called terminate after, in this case, 60 minutes of inactivity. And you would expect that if there are no users, then clusters will shut down and you will not pay for it. Except that it's not written minutes of user inactivity, it's written just an activity. And that means that if something is running, the cluster will be still up and running as well. In very specific example, if you have Spark structure streaming job, or maybe just a while loop, just continuously running, that means cluster will not shut down. So just make sure that you understand this flag and don't expect the cluster will be shutting down all the time as you expect. Second tip I have is about setting rules. We have summer. Imagine you have a full freezer of ice cream. Chocolate, vanilla, Parmesan cheese. Yeah, I know, it's strange. But anyways, full freezer of ice cream. But your spouse, manager, or colleague said and asked not to touch it. But now, no one is watching, and will you resist the temptation? Will you take one ice cream? If you look at this view, which is from SQL Data Warehouse, now it's called Azure Synapse SQL Pools, it's the place where we can scale our database, add additional computation, add more power. And for engineers, getting additional power, getting a better, faster running queries is just like getting additional ice cream, right? But with a small slider, a small change might mean that you start paying twice as much for your service that you initially planned. So make sure that you set proper permissions and proper restrictions at the beginning of your project. Just make sure there are only a few of people who can upscale your services. And thing number 3, the last one, is about reading the instructions, about listening and reading the instructions, about small details that might matter. In this case, let's take a look at example of Cosmos DB. We look at just at transactional storage, and it looks like nothing, right? It costs $2.50 per 10 gigabytes. Come on, that's like a coffee, and even coffee at Starbucks costs more. But the difference is, if we look at the whole pricing at the transactional workload, the difference is a bit bigger. And now you are not buying a coffee just for yourself, but you are buying a coffee for this group. And if we look specifically then at this part, you need to understand different metrics, how different services in Azure are priced. In the Cosmos DB, there is a request unit per second. That means you need to define your plan. But request units are different for reads, different for creates, inserts, different for updates or deletes. Make sure that you understand those metrics. And this is it for me. 3 simple tips that can save you not hundreds, but in some cases even thousands of dollars. And just to wrap up, trust but verify, set rules and proper permissions, listen and read the instructions, and make sure you are not wasting your money by mistake. That's it for today. Thanks.